You have done excellent work, Ike. Thanks to you, the wound that has scarred Begnion for many long years can finally begin to heal. As promised, Begnion now offers its support to Crimea's restoration. However, Prime Minister Sephiron has yet to return, which limits the reinforcements I can provide. Be that as it may, what troops I can spare await your command. Use them as you see fit. I understand. Thank you. That's good news, isn't it, Princess Alencia? Yes it is. This has taught me a valuable lesson. Our land needs the Laguz. I also believe that the Bjork and Laguz need each other to survive. The previous apostle, my grandmother, was desirous of such a world, as were my own parents. Princess Alencia, your father, King Raman of Crimea, was a true pioneer in the area of Bjork-Laguz relations. In the very near future, I will give the Imperial Senate a few suggestions on achieving a fully integrated society. I doubt the road will be easily traveled, but I can no longer turn a blind eye to these issues. Princess Alencia, you must rebuild Crimea. If you are successful, we will join forces and change the world. Empress Sanaki, your vision surpasses even my own. My father would be so pleased to hear your word. Looks like you're through with me. I'll wait outside until you're finished talking. Hold, I am definitely not through with you! Huh? What did I do now? Like how Ike automatically presumes he did something wrong. You're as impudent and impatient as ever. Heed me, Ike. If you are to help lead the Crimean Liberation Army, you must be given a more appropriate title. If you're talking about making me a noble, I'll decline, thanks. That's not my kind of thing. You are not in a position to refuse. Giving some nameless mercenary control of Begnion's troops would be problematic. And more importantly, it would affect the troops. You will resign yourself to this and receive peerage from Princess Alencia. What? No, wait, this is a blast of all the foolish... I'm sorry about this. If you're absolutely opposed to it, I won't force you. No, I have to do what's necessary. What am I supposed to do now? Put on a funny hat or something? Will you lend me your sword? Thank you. Now, may I ask you to kneel before me? Thank you. Alright, let me begin. In the name of House Crimea, I hereby grant you the title and rank of Lord, and all the honors it conveys. Rise, Lord Ike. It is done. What an odd feeling. I mean, yeah, if I suddenly had my clothes changed by a giant beam of light, I'd probably feel odd too, Ike. I'd probably feel odd too. Ah, your new rank suits you. I completely agree. Yes, it truly does. I suppose. Not that it matters to me. Western Begnion is home to a great forest. At one time, these woods were home to the kingdom of Serenus and ruled by the Huron clan of the Bird tribe. Following the Serenus massacre, the forest lost its color and vitality. Some said it was the sorrow of the goddess, made real. For 20 long years, the devout citizens of Begnion trembled in shame and loathing over the crime they had committed. The Begnion Empress, Apostle Sanaki, stepped forward as representative of her countrymen. Kneeling before the surviving Huron prince and princess, she gave voice to the apology of her people. She spoke not as one nation to another, but as neighbors. I can't read. This is supposed to be a serious moment. She spoke not as one nation to another, but as neighbors on the same continent. The massacre was unforgivable. However, the hatred breeds hatred, and if the cycle of grief and anger is not broken, it will continue for time without end. It was with this in mind that the Hurons accepted the Apostle's apology. And so it was that Serena's force returned to its former glory. Afterward, as payment for Ike's services, Princess Alentia gained the services of a regiment of Begnion army regulars. Though of common birth, Ike receives peerage from the princess and is given command of the army. As the first snow of the season falls, the newly commissioned General Ike takes control of the Crimean Liberation Army. He leads it towards the knife-edged mountains that mark the border between Begnion and Dayan. And welcome to what I consider officially Act 2 of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, the second half of the game. You could consider everything that's happened up to this point sort of the first half. And now we finally begin the second half where we start to take on Dayan. So, they've left Begnion, have they? According to our spy, they marched with a regiment of Begnion's army. They plan to take a land route through Dayan and then into Crimea. Huh, they plan to cut across Dayan. With nothing more than a single regiment at whose core is a tattered band of ragtag mercenaries. Gawain's son leads this rabble, yes? How does he stand up to his father's legacy? He doesn't. He's just a boy, not yet worthy of his father's name. Disappointing. Though his skill with the blade is rough, there is something uncanny about him. People seem drawn to him. And not just Begnion's apostle either. He's also gained the trust of the Serena survivors, and the King of Phoenix as well. The Hurons are alive? It appears that 2 members of the royal family survived. Look how nicely the table's been set for us. Bring one of them to me, I care not which one, and I want the medallion as well. As you wish. Once we cross that great wall, we'll be in Dayan. Look there, atop that building. Dayan Wyvern Riders on patrol. They won't be happy to see us. Tell me, General Ike, have you faced Wyvern Riders in combat? Only a few times. I got the impression that the Kilvis Ravens were the more dangerous foe. If that's your impression, then you have yet to fight true Wyvern Riders. What do you mean? I have no way of judging the ones we see here, but I know another unit, one that was attached to Begnion's Temple Guard. They had their reasons for leaving, but the important thing to remember is that they are exceedingly powerful. Which explains why the Apostle sent you to accompany us. That's right. The Pegasus Knights fare better than most against Wyvern Riders. We know the skies as well as they do. Yeah, I prefer to keep my feet on the ground, thank you. Can I entrust the flying business to you? Of course, we'll bring honor to the name of the Apostle's sacred guards. And with that, we get a report of the last battle. Yeah, that was a lot of dialogue. Hello, I'm Galactic Sweets, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. 10 minutes in, or 9 minutes maybe, I don't know. My timer's a bit off because I waited at the beginning for some silence so I can do some audio editing stuff. Technical stuff that I don't think people really care about. I could Soren have a support conversation, so I might want to get that. And hold on a second. I need to move my computer because I'm recording in a new setup, and my computer is actually partially blocking my screen. Let's see, Jill. Can I talk to you for a second, Mist? Sure, Jill. And before we go to the conversation, I just want to say I love the snow falling in the background. That's just all I want to say. I don't really have anything to say. I, just wanted to be with you. And the shippers went crazy that day. I'm kinda lonely. Tell me if I'm bothering you. No, actually I was hoping to see you because I'm kind of lonely too. The shippers went even more crazy. Jeez. It just writes itself at this rate. I'm glad you're here. Great. Oh hey, wasn't that something? Yeah, it sure was. What? The Serenus Forest. The way that Reyson and Leonie sang and made those shiny lights and brought the whole forest back to life. Yeah, that was... I'm not gonna try replicating crying. Oh no, Jill, why are you crying? Because that made me understand. The Lagoos aren't bad. I am. I am the one who is wrong. Wrong about what I believed. Wrong about everything. Oh, Jill, no, don't cry. Don't... Oh, no. Why? Why did you lie to me, Father? I've had to endure so much pain. I wish I'd known the truth from the start. My father lied to me, Mist. He lied to build me into a heartless warrior. A soldier worthy of Dayan. That can't be. It is. No father could treat his child like a tool. There must be another reason. If he lied to you, he must have thought it would be for the best. Mist, you don't... You're a fool, Jill, a blind fool. I know you're feeling down, but questioning a father's love is ridiculous. Because a father wouldn't... Oh, Dad. Mist... Oh, Mist. I know, it's alright. Father... Dad... Miss, no, don't cry. Don't cry, Miss. Jill, why are you smiling? She's like smiling while saying, don't cry, Miss, don't cry. Mist? Oh, sorry. Mist, thanks for talking about my father like that. I appreciate it. Jill. Maybe I am a fool. You're right, doubting even for a second the man who raised me with love and devotion. Something must be wrong with me. But I have to choose my own path. I have to choose a path that I believe in. I'm sure Father will understand me. I'm sure he will, Jill. I know it. And with that, Jill and Mist do reach A rank. That is the highest rank they can reach. And even though I was just making fun of the fact that Jill was smiling a moment ago when it seemed kind of inappropriate, I do have to say, especially when I go back and replay this game versus some other Fire Emblem games, especially ones on the 3DS, the portraits are very expressive. They just show off what the character's really feeling. You could see when Jill was talking about her regrets, she had her eyes closed and like she was reflecting. Their expressions just change when they need to, and I love that. Let's do Ike and Soren support conversation, and then we'll get on to discussing what just happened, since I haven't had a chance to discuss the story in a good while, since a lot has happened. Do you have a second, Soren? What is it, Ike? What's wrong? You've been quiet and moody for days. What's going on? Well, it's... Yes? It's nothing. You've never worried about who you are, have you? Your family, where you come from. Who I am? Well, not really. No. I guess I don't understand what you're getting at. I had a father and a mother. I don't remember much about her, but otherwise, no complaints. It must be nice to have loving parents. You need people to experience your childhood, to help shape the person you will become. Without an adult around to affirm and support them, a child can't know which path to take, or who he really is. You don't have any memory of your parents. No, the woman who raised me was not my birth mother, and she wasn't all that fond of me anyway. Memories of her saying, "Why me?" "The world isn't fair," or "Stay away from me, child." No love, no affection. She took care of me out of some sense of duty that she didn't really possess. When I was about 4, a nearby sage came by and asked to take me in. He said I possessed rare magical talent. I remember the day clearly. My caretaker was delighted to give me up. In fact, she seemed almost delirious with pleasure. Smiling like a mad woman as she handed me over, the sage even gave her gold as compensation. Not that it was necessary. Soren, I had no idea. The sage was old, and knew that death would soon come for him. His only goal was to teach his art to an apprentice. As his time was short, he put me through terribly rigorous magic training. We worked day and night, without cease. I didn't even have time to think about who I really was, but it was still a better life than I had ever known. When the sage died 2 years later, I'd acquired much magical skill, perhaps too much for a child my age. At any rate, once I had eaten all the food in the sage's hovel, I left and walked for days to find help. Upon reaching civilization, I came to another grim realization. I couldn't speak, not a word. Soren. Oh, I could read and write better than most of the villagers, and I could understand what they said. I just couldn't talk. I couldn't help it. The woman and the sage both used to hurl words at me. Unkind words usually, but I never needed the answer, so... Soren! Huh? Oh, I apologize, Ike. I should not have made you listen to such nonsense. Soren, it's no nonsense. It's awful. It's the most terrible thing I've ever heard. When did this happen? Was it in Begnion? No, but there's more I haven't told you about my parents. No, that's enough. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Wait, Soren? Soren! Blast! We will learn a bit more about Soren's past and why he tends to be so reserved around everyone. And before we go to the conversations, I do want to go ahead and actually talk about what's just happened, because all I've been doing the past 10-20 minutes is literally just reading dialogue, and I kind of just want to talk. Let's see, okay, who can I level up in the meantime? Jill and Marsha are almost ready. In fact, I'm going to level up Jill to 20, and then I'm going to promote her. But yes, one, I do have to say, I love Ike's new design. I like it more than his first design. In fact, if you look at my profile picture, which I'll post a picture on screen because it won't be up after this Let's Play's finished, it is of Ike. Ike is in this costume, and it's shown in the opening. So if you pay close attention in the opening, you notice Ike does get a costume change. And I love how it's reflected in the actual game. Like, most of the time when a lord promotes in Fire Emblem, the costume change isn't really reflective, but it is with Ike, and I think that's just really neat. Talia's, in general, Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, are really good about that, reflecting costume change when a character promotes. And they'll only do it for story-specific characters. Say once Jill promotes, her portrait isn't going to change, even though her outfit and attire will. Let's see. I guess I can up Soren. Let's see, hold on, let's use... How many, Master Seals do I have? I have coins. I do not need coins. I have 1 Master Seal. Oh. Okay, so only one person's promoting. Well, Jill, you get to be the lucky person. I'm gonna promote you. And with that, Jill is now a Wyvern Lord. And I love how all the characters get, like, all their stats up except luck. Heck, when Ike got all of his stats up except luck, I just wanted to say, is that supposed to reflect how Ike really didn't want to be a lord? And that sort of reflects his luck? And that he was sort of forced to become a lord? But, yeah, I do have to say, I love Ike's new design so much. It's so neat. You never see it reflected in any form of media. Whenever Ike appears in a game, it's always in his ranger outfit, and for good reason. Not only is that the outfit he starts in, but he also prefers to not be a lord, which I also think is a really neat touch. So let's go see our conversations. Well, let's finish awarding EXP first. As for the other stuff, well, geez, there was a little lag there for a second. I'm honestly not sure what else to say at the moment. I can promote Mia and Marcia, but I think I'll put the experience towards Soren, because I like to keep my units roughly equal level, just my OCD speaking. Of course, I'm saying I want to talk and stuff, and then I can't think of stuff to talk about. But with that, we have sort of entered officially the second act of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, where everything up until this point, it feels like now, and I kind of wish they went with this earlier, but it really feels like now, of all times, in Fire, yeah, I'm gonna promote Soren. Great, let's go Soren, go. And I'll finish that thought after the class change, gives me a moment to think. With that, Soren is now a sage. And I do have to say, I love his sage look because all the, oh yes, do not give Soren knives, by the way. Do not give him knives. Dear God, if you give him knives, we're gonna have to talk. Unless you're doing it for a joke. And you can, let's see. But before we get to that, I do have to say I also love the Soren's sage outfit design. You got to see it for a glimpse, for a split second. You'll get to see it during battle animations. Okay, sorry about that. I had a bit of an interruption going on in the background, but I did some reorganization with equipment in the meantime. Gave Soren a heal staff. But yeah, no, I really like that. Now it feels like we were sidetracked for so long with, oh, we want to get our goal buff, first we have to do this, and first we have to do that, and finally we've reached a point where now we can go towards restoring Crimea. And so this always just felt like a big turning point in the game. And there's more reasons for that, but we'll get to that when we actually get into the chapter. The last thing I want to go over before we get into the chapter is skills. So you can see I can access a new skill called Aether. Any of you who played Smash or Fire Emblem Heroes and have seen Ike probably knows that this is essentially his signature skill. So when a unit promotes, they will get access to a special skill that can be given by the Occult Scroll. That's why I was recommending you get these scrolls. It differs depending on which unit it is. And if you want to know what it is, yeah, you can see it here. They generally cost a lot. Mist gets soul, dang. I did not realize Mist got soul. Generally I think a unit just needs to be promoted in order to get it. Astra is an example of an occult skill, so any sword master will also get Astra. That means Mia and Zehark, when they promote, they can gain access to Astra. What is Braum? I think Braum gets Luna? Yes, Braum gets Luna, which ignores defense. Okay, in later games it ignores defense. In this game it just, when calculating damage, it halves the enemy's defense. Soren gets Flare, which I don't think has appeared since, the Tellius games, but, I'm trying to, okay, so it's the magical version of Luna. Alright, that makes sense. Let's see. And I believe yes, even the Lagoos can get it. I don't know if they have to hit a certain point or not. Mobilized enemy does not work against certain units. That's the same goes for Stun, which is Jill's occult skill, and I believe Marshall will have the same occult skill. So yes, they can only be learned by getting these special occult scrolls that you get every now and then. And they can only be learned by promoted units, so Rolf can't learn it. If we try to assign it, yeah, Rolf can't get it. So on and so forth. Let's see what the Halberd... Oh, Halberds also get Luna. I'm going to give Ike Aether, and I highly recommend giving him Aether. And Aether is essentially a combination of Soul and Luna. We saw Soul when we went to Mist. It's not specific to her, but it's the Occult Skull she'll get, which will restore her HP based on how much damage she does, and then Luna, which has defense. Aether is both back to back. It's a really, really good skill, and yeah, you want it. So I highly recommend giving it. If you don't want to give it to Ike right now, just give it to him in the next few chapters, because there's a point coming up where you really want Ike to have Aether, but it's not going to be for a little bit. With that, we'll go ahead and look at the info stuff and then move on. General Ike, all troops are ready to move out. Alright, can you have them wait? Do you want them to fall out and wait in their tents? Or would you rather they form up and stand at attention? Go ahead and have them stand down. I'll call them when I'm ready. Yes, sir. Begging your pardon, sir. All troops have been ordered to stand down. However, General Tanith requests her orders. Are her Pegasus Knights to stand down as well? Am I supposed to decide that too? General Ike, you've been given command of the entire army, sir. We will not move without your orders, sir. General Tanith's troops are to follow General Tanith's orders. Understood, sir. General Tanith's Pegasus Knights will not be deployed unless there is a request for reinforcements. Those are the orders of General Tanith. By your leave, sir. Tanith, do you have a moment? General Ike, what is it? Is there a problem? I thought you might be able to provide me with some information. Yes? What can you tell me about King Dayan? I'd like to know something of him before I have to face him in battle. Truth be told, I've never fought him either. I cannot give you any specifics, but I will tell you what little I know. Please, whatever you could tell me would be appreciated. Ashnard's coronation. Yeah, let me see. It was 18 years ago. You see, a plague had struck the capital, spreading out to affect the surrounding region of Navasa and beyond. Ashnard was crowned the year after that great tragedy finally subsided. In the entire history of Tellius, no calamity has claimed the lives of so many Bjork and Lagoos, not since the Great Flood. 2 years before, it struck Begnion, and the entire population of Serenis was nearly obliterated. The year after that, close to 1,000 Bjork, nobles and peasants alike, perished in Dayan. Nobles, you say, so the royal family fell victim to this plague as well. Yes, the reigning king and queen and some 20 or so princes and princesses fell ill, and everyone who fell ill perished. For a time, the people despaired of losing the entire royal bloodline of Dayan. It seemed that none would survive. And yet Ashnard survived. He did. It is quite interesting, in a sense. You see, his name was never mentioned in any talk of succession before that time. He was of such a distant bloodline that he was unlikely to be king. In another place, though, his name was already well known. Where was that? On the battlefield. As you know, Dayan is home to many brave warriors. At the time, then Prince Ashnard was said to have been a match for an entire troop of Pegasus Knights. Begnion and Dayan both kept close watch over their borders, and their patrols fought in many skirmishes. Although there were no war to speak of, these land disputes did end with Dayan claiming a small portion of Begnion soil. It would be no exaggeration to say this was solely due to the strength of one man, Ashnard. Forgive me, I have spoken longer than I intended. It's about time we get back to the business of marching preparations. No, thank you for telling me so much. If we have another chance, please share more of your stories. Understood. Ike, which troop should we fall in with? We have received no orders yet. Tormod, Muaram, I know I've asked you many times, but are you sure you want to be here? You keep asking that. Maybe you don't want us here, is that it? I don't know what to think. No, it's not that at all. To be honest, the battle ahead is going to be hard. It looks bleak. I'd rather those without direct ties to Crimea not get involved. A bleak battle? What about those trying to free all the slaves in Begnion? Now those were bleak battles. Bleak battles are a specialty, right, Morm? Yes, you are. Yet, thanks to Ike's time in Begnion, things have completely changed. That's right, the Apostle has promised to press her investigation until there's not a single Lagoo slave left in the entire nation. So, there's no reason for you two to continue fighting, is there? You don't owe me anything. We're going to fight with you, Ike. We want to help. It is our right to join you in this, just as it is your right to refuse us. To be perfectly frank, I would be willing to beg to get you to join us. Both of you, alright? Alright. Ha! You can count on us. And it's really nice. I like that because it just shows that they do stick around. It's not they just stick around for fun. It's because words, but they do have a reason for sticking around. And with that, I think that's about it. I don't really need to make any more preparations. Geez, we've gone half an hour, and now we're finally getting into the gameplay. Fire Emblem in a nutshell, right? My Lord Ike, are preparations complete? Yes, the enemy should not yet be aware that we've come this far. We're going to launch a surprise attack and try to capture the wall on our first charge. Please wait for us at the base camp. Very well. There's no need to look so worried. We're well prepared, and we've got you as our good luck charm. Thank you for that, but do be careful, my Lord Ike. Hey, don't worry. This may be our first battle as an official army. We've fought Dain many times. We're going to win. After all, I can't lose my very first battle as a snooty noble, now can I? I believe in you, and I know that you'll be victorious. Come back safe. Is everyone ready? Let's move out. Hold a moment, my Lord Ike. In the sky, something's coming. Who's that? Ah, Ike, well met. It appears that you're getting ready for your first battle as Crimea's army. And you're escorting the Huron siblings back to Phoenix, right? That was the original plan, but someone here insisted that we follow you. Quite unreasonably, I might add. You treated us with courtesy, Bjork. We must act accordingly. Isn't that so, Liane? You said your name was Ike, correct? Yes. You aided my sister and me during a time of danger. We Hurons hold courtesy in high esteem. We must repay our debt to you. That's really not necessary. We are practitioners of seed magic. We cannot fight, but we can imbue our allies with strength. If you so wish it, I will travel with you. In this way, I will repay you for what you have done. You were lucky to find your sister. Shouldn't you stay by her side? Liane understands what I do. I see. In that case, welcome. Thank you. I swear on the honor of my clan to do all I can to strengthen your cause. It's settled then, and you'll get aid from me as well, Janaff. Right here, your majesty. You'll go with the Crimean Army and protect Reyson. Leave it to me. You too, Ulki, alright? Of course. Tibarn, it's too much, I cannot accept this. You're already watching over Liane and my father as well. These past 20 years, I know what it's been like for you living in Phoenix. I'm only sorry I can't do more. Tibarn, I thank you, from the bottom of my heart. King Phoenix, I will guard Reyson well. When Crimea is retaken, I will see him safely return to you. I will take you at your word. Your actions have created a bond of trust between yourselves and the Hawk and Huron clans. If you find yourself in a dire position, you can call on me. No matter what, I will fly to your aid. We gained a strong ally where we not thought to look for one, didn't we? Yes, Bjork and Lagoos. Beast Tribe and Bird Tribe. There's no difference between us. We finally understand one another. Yes, I think you're right. Now let's really get started. Everyone move out. God, I love that how it really does show all the tribes coming together. Now we just need the dragon tribes of Goldoa and we'll be good. And normally I'd skip preparations, but we have 3 new units to go over. Reyson, you can refuse, I'll let him join, but why the heck would you do that? Holy crap. Reyson is amazing, and you're probably looking at his stats and his growth rates and like, he's amazing? He's as frail as a feather, can't take a single hit. And you're right, he can. He has no attack, he can't even attack at transform, so don't even bother trying. Reyson is what you would call, in typical Fire Emblem standards, a dancer, though he doesn't actually dance. See, dancers are characters in Fire Emblem that their job is to essentially give other units an extra turn. This can be great for just getting a unit to move super far. If you plan ahead, dancers are very good support units. Of course, when I talk about dancers, I talk about the general Fire Emblem trope. Reyson instead sings a Galder for whoever he will restore, whoever he's going to give an extra turn to. And yeah, I highly recommend keeping Reyson. Keep Reyson around. He's really good. Keep him far away from battle though. He cannot take a hit to save his life. But yeah, Reyson, very good unit. You just need to use him properly. Janaff. So here's the thing. If you refuse to let Reyson join you, Janaff and Ulki will not join you. So that's important to keep in mind. Janaff has really good stats, really good growth rates. He's actually a very good character. He comes with a unique skill that can only be used on him. Insight, increases hit percentage. As amazing as this is, it's kind of redundant. I don't really see the point in this. But because he already has really good skill, he doesn't really need it. But it's welcome nonetheless. He essentially will always hit. And it plays off the fact that his eyesight's really good. So it's always neat to see gameplay reflect lore and whatnot. But yeah, no, Janaff is very solid. He isn't the strongest in the world, which is really his only downside. I mean, unless you want to consider magic, but he's not using magic. Trust me, it's not important. He's also weak to wind magic. Yeah, Janaff is a very solid character, and I highly recommend using him. And then, Ulki. Oh boy. You're probably looking at his stats and see, wow, he must be just as good as Janaff. Not so much. His lower base speed really hurts him, even though his speed growth is really good. The fact that his base speed is just lower hurts him overall. He's supposed to be slower but tankier than Janaff, and it just doesn't work out as well. That being said, Ulki is still a solid pick, and his avoid is still really good because of Vigilance, his unique skill based on his super good hearing, which doubles his avoidance, I believe. Yeah, Ulki is essentially he wants to be a dodge tank, but he's more of a bulky tank. Janaff is better, but Ulki definitely works. And Janaff and Ulki are pretty similar stat spread wise. Their big difference is in their base stats more than their growths, actually, which is kind of funny. But what the nice thing about Ulki is that he does start with more HP. Janaff starts with 39 versus 41, and those 2 extra hit points do really make a difference. I highly recommend bringing these characters in. And also, I'm going to use Ulki. I honestly really want to use Janaff. I like Janaff more than Ulki, but no one ever uses Ulki, so I'm going to give him some love, show him that he can be useful. This chapter, even if you didn't train him, bring Rolf. You will need Rolf for one thing in particular. And with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Demi Band off of Leaf and give it to Ulki, because Leaf starts out transformed, while Ulki will have to wait for his thing to build up, and because of that, it would be better for him to have the Demi Band so he can just get into battle immediately, and of course the pause right there was to have him transform. And then with Leaf, I can just go ahead and have her take the, Moram. Have her take the Lagustone and Bjork card. That was hers to begin with. And yeah, with that, that's really it. Mia does not need the antitoxin. And we're about ready to go on. Also, I think Jill can use axes now? Yes. When Jill promotes, she can use axes. So, actually, I'm probably going to go ahead and give her one because... Actually, what's her weapon? I could just use an arm scroll on her. I think I'll just use it. I'll try and train her axe rank up. 4 uses. Okay. Titania. C, D, E. I guess I'll have to give her the hand axe. Not exactly what I wanted to give her, but oh well. I should have gotten another axe from the, Oh, wait, Tanith. We have Tanith. I forgot we got Tanith this chapter. Excuse me while I go look up her, stats really quick. I completely forgot we even got her. Okay, so, yeah, I totally didn't forget that Tanith joined this chapter. I knew she joined her party at some point. Jeez. Good base stats, decent growths, Tanith is a good unit. She comes as a pre-promoted Falcon Knight, which means, well, I guess she has less levels, and technically Marsha would be superior to her, but Tanith can definitely get the job done. She has an A in swords and a B in lances. This is probably one of the best things that with her is that she just comes with really good weapons, so she can use most weapons right off the bat, at least. And yes, Falcon Knights can use swords. That is what they gain access to. Tanith specifically comes with the Sonic Sword, which uses magic instead of strength. I don't really see the need for Tanith to use this. In fact, if anything, I recommend Mist using this, but you can also see it needs a B sword rank, which is also why I recommend training Mist. Mist will make great use of this sword. So I'm actually not going to use this on her. I'm going to go ahead and give her something else. And the funny thing about her is her skill, which we sort of got a hint to in our the base conversation. Reinforced. She can call in allied Pegasus Knights. She can essentially summon stuff. For those of you who played Shadows of Valentia, and you know you can summon Phantom Soldiers to do your bidding for you, to take hits for you, she can do that. And I find that absolutely hilarious. But yeah, it's Tanith. I have never used her, but she seems like a really solid unit on paper, so I would definitely want to try using her. So first thing really is she needs a sword, and thankfully because of her really good sword rank, where are you? Not Devdan. Not Zihark. Stefan, where are you? Stefan, come here, there you are. We'll give her, I'm gonna store the Sonic Sword because she doesn't really, I don't want her to use it. So instead I'm going to have her equip the Killing Edge, and we're gonna go with that. And yeah. So with that, 40 minutes in, let's reposition and fight. And yeah, sure. Skip ahead to the fight. It appears that the Crimean army has arrived. It's time to put our plan into action. The main body of the Killless army will wait atop the western summit. A small unit will remain here to cooperate. I just remembered something. I might have to restart. This is correct, is it not? It is. What could His Majesty be thinking? Why does Dayan ally herself with some backwater subhuman nation? I don't know. There's no way we can expect to understand the supreme thoughts of the king. All we can do is perform the task set before us by His Majesty. Or His Highness, excuse me. That is everything. Yes, of course. The Crimean army has no idea we're aware of their every move. Bah, what vermin. What does that untrained group of vagabonds think they can do? I don't care how talented he is. Their commander is nothing more than a young mercenary with delusions of grandeur. We've nothing to fear. We'll show them what real war is like. And the Killless Ravens, how should we deal with them? Those subhuman freaks, let's use them as bait. We can sacrifice them and reduce our own human casualties. A fantastic idea. Make sure that the men are thoroughly instructed. Yes, sir. You there, halt. You're an unfamiliar face. You'll know it soon enough. You filthy piece of offal. You will bow your head to a superior officer. He's got a lot of nerve, hasn't he? Is he one of yours? Yes, sir. He's a new recruit who was only assigned to me today. Please accept my apologies for his lack of any training or manners whatsoever. If he's good, I can overlook almost any character flaw. Go and kill as many Crimeans as you can. Help my name be remembered with honor and glory. Yes, sir. Huh. Come to me, dregs of Crimea. I will teach what it means to oppose the might of Dayan. And there are chests, and I forgot to bring a thief. I'm going to be right back. Okay, so I chose to bench Astrid for this chapter because, you know, because she is higher level than everyone else at the moment, so I want other people to get experience. And we're only going to play for like a turn or two because, dear God, we're like so far into this episode. Jeez. Let's see, who do we have here? We have Steel Lance, but you notice there's a new song playing in the background. Yeah, this theme is called Crimea Attack, or not Crimea Attacks. I forgot the name of this theme, but we also have a brand new attack theme. Take a listen. I believe it's either this or the map theme is called Crimea Marches. And I don't remember the name of the other one. Hopefully you'll see on screen right now the names I cannot remember. Sure, why not? Go ahead. You can just see if you need a move unit just to move up a little further, you can just chant and watch them move up. So really useful. Let's see. Go ahead. Yeah, we'll just have Mia wield the Miyakati. Go ahead and have Jill come up here. Tanith come this way. And sure, reinforce will call for help. Alright, go Holy Guard, Pegasus Knights. We got 2 Pegasus Knights and a Falcon Knight. And these guys actually look good. We'll have to be careful with Rolf, make sure he just doesn't get into too much danger. And you can take a good guess why we called Rolf into battle. Yeah. But we're gonna, for those of you who don't quite know yet, we'll keep it a surprise for why Rolf is here in this chapter. And Marcia, you can come up here. And they will move out as well. And I do not believe they have battle animations like the, like our units do. You see Mia dodge everything. Soon, you will promote Mia. Soon. Alright, so you're also going to attack Mia. I figured everyone's going to attack Mia, but Mia should be able to dodge it and get a crit and one-shot stuff. That also works. I'm perfectly fine with that. Thank you, Mia, for doing that. The Miyakati is going to break soon, and that makes me sad. Makes me very, very sad. We see we have an archer here, our recolored Gordon. We don't get to see very often. And a soldier who can make it to Mia. 1 turn crit? Nope, no crit. That's fine. Ooh, that does a lot of damage though. And, ooh, we got Wyvern Riders behind us. So this is basically, this is essentially the game's way of telling you, hey, move or else these guys are going to catch up. Even though they're really not that threatening. With that, I'm actually going to end the episode here because we've gone for 50 minutes now. So we'll get to see Ike in his cool new Lord outfit, do the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a Twitter link in the description, best way to keep updated with the channel. And until next time.